pretty well, but I can't continue to the east until I have the full map, of course. Looking surprised and quietly impressed, Madame Odette chuckled to herself and told Safiyyah to follow her. By the time her father finally found her half an hour later, Safiyyah had 6 different maps laid out in front of her and was contentedly sucking a strawberry bonbon. Madame Odette marvelled at Safiyyah's interest. It was like the lines and curves of the continents joined up with the patterns of her brain. Ever since then, she allowed Safiyyah access to whatever she liked in the library, and always supplied her with a stash of strawberry bonbons. Today, Safiyyah popped one of the powdery pink sugar balls into her mouth absent-mindedly. Goosebumps appeared on her arms as she traced her finger gently down the ocean. Safiyyah wore the special white gloves that the librarian had given her in order to handle this book. Its pages felt like delicate tissue, as if they might float away if ever the book's spine came unbound. Her pulse quickened as her finger reached Manaus in the state of Amazonas, Brazil. She could almost hear the intense pulsing and throbbing of the Amazon, an orchestra of a million cicadas, squawking parrots, and howling monkeys. The best kind of music, it filled the room, interrupted only by the ticking of the grandfather clock in the corner. The time! Safiyyah remembered suddenly that she was supposed to have been home 10 minutes ago, and leaped up in a panic. She closed the atlas and the book with gilded pages and rolled up the maps carefully, grabbed a bonbon for the journey home, and left. Safiyyah ran as quickly as she could through the familiar streets, her school bag on her back. Her mother always told her to make sure she was home on time each day, and this would be the second time that week Safiyyah wouldn't be. She wove through the streets and alleys, swerving to avoid 2 women wearing sunglasses and hats, so huge it seems the hats were wearing them. She dodged people chatting outside cafes, eating macarons and sipping coffee, and shopping carts laden with plump tomatoes and 100 types of cheese. All Safiyyah wanted was to get home and tell Seti everything she'd discovered about South America. But dread of her mother's inevitable scolding loomed like a cloud over her. Yumma hadn't always been this strict. It had only started in autumn last year when war was declared. Soldiers had dug bomb shelters around the city and handed out gas masks to families. Safiyyah knew her mother's strictness was only really because Yumma worried, but there had been no bombs or danger or anything ever since, and she longed for her mother to relax. Now Safiyyah ducked, panting and sweaty, beneath the low branches of a magnolia tree, bursting with elegant pink flowers. Almost in the 5th arrondissement, or district, where she lived, Safiyyah stopped to catch her breath for a minute, leaning against a lamppost. In between the noisy motorcars spluttering and coughing out fumes, Safiyyah noticed a man standing in front of the shops on the other side of the road. He wore a black suit and had absolutely no hair on his head. He was crying silently, and the child holding his hand, not much older than Safiyyah's little sister, looked up at him anxiously. Safiyyah had never seen a grown man cry in the street like that before, and she felt bad for the young boy beside him. The whole scene disturbed her deeply, and despite the sun overhead, she felt a chill in the air. Safiyyah started running again, almost colliding with a bicycle as she looked back over her shoulder at the pair. She wished she could take them home with her. Seti would definitely know how to fix whatever the problem was. She always did. The man wiped his wet cheeks with a handkerchief, and then Safiyyah was around the corner. 2. The mosque's green roofs and white walls came into sight, and Safiyyah began inventing excuses for why she was late again. She bounded through the doors and into the courtyard, relieved to see Seti there before she needed to face her mother. Her grandma was sitting beside the tiled fountain, a silk shawl the colour of biscuits wrapped around her shoulders. As soon as Safiyyah stepped into the serene courtyard, she had known for as long as she could remember, she felt calmer. The bustle and smoke of the streets of Paris gave way to the sounds of